Let's maul in the Central Committee. Let's cringe in the Central Committee. Let's bog in the Central Committee right now.
When I was growing up, my father was always trying to out me. Well, here I am, free, proud, and gay as can be.
My father suddenly died while I was in college, and I wasn't sure about my future. But here I am today, 78, proud, and still chugging along.
Growing up, I was terrified to come out to my mom, but I finally worked up the courage to do it, and she encouraged me to be myself. Well, here I am.
This is me at 20, 1 year before attending my first Pride. I was uncertain of who I was. Now, 55 Prides later, I know exactly who I am.
The old gays are unshakable.
The Pride Shake is now available at all U.S. Shake Shacks.
Wow.
They're donating a portion of the proceeds to the Trevor Project.
Oh, they got me. They had me in the first half. Oh my god, I was like, this is so wholesome. Oh my god, chat. Mitch McConnell just said he was gonna cuck. McConnell is so confident of Dems and competent. I'm sorry, another Dems. I'm gonna become the Joker. I'm literally gonna become the Joker. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell now says on Hugh Hewitt's show that it's highly unlikely he would allow Biden to fill a Supreme Court vacancy in 2024 if he's majority leader, or even 2023.
If you regain the majority in 2022 for the Republicans, and there's a very good chance of that happening. I'll come back to the individual races in a second. Would the rule that you applied in 2016 to the Scalia vacancy apply in 2024 to any vacancy that occurred then?
What's the rule? What's the fucking rule? What's the rule he's talking about? The rule is, if the Democrats are in power, we don't allow them to appoint someone. If the Republicans are in power, we appoint people as fast as we can. Having the other party control the Senate. That's not a rule! That's just using your power in the most corrupt way possible to undermine the entire institution of government. Literally saying out loud he's going to impede democracy.
Well, I think in the middle of a presidential election, if you have a Senate of the opposite party of the president, you have to go back to the 1880s to find the last time a vacancy was filled. So I think it's highly unlikely. In fact, no.
Because Supreme Court judges, unfortunately, don't die enough from natural causes or quit. Because they serve for life. So yes, there's not a lot of opportunities to appoint them. But what he's saying is there is actually precedent of the opposite party appointing Supreme Court judges. Actually, I think he's lying, by the way. I think he's making something that's so many levels of like specificity, it's basically a lie. The opposite party confirming someone during a presidential year is not the same thing as the opposite party confirming a Supreme Court judge, which has happened a number of times. Maybe just not in a presidential election year, but in all the other fucking years.
No, I don't think either party, if it controlled if it were different.
The right has switched from dog whistling and trying to hide their evil to being fucking brazen about it because it's more effective. What you're talking about is called the death of a euphemism. Death of a euphemism happens when a movement is mature and they're ready to implement their policies because they have either sufficient public or political power to enact it without sufficient resistance. So they no longer have to do dog whistles. They could just say to their base and say to the people that support them that they're going to do X, Y, and Z thing. And they say it openly because they don't feel like they have to deal with the opposition. The opposition is just going to either be too weak or is not politically relevant, so they don't have to deal with their objections. This is very bad. This presages like literal one-party rule.
Different from the president would confirm a Supreme Court nominee in the middle of an election. What was different in 2020 was we were of the same party as the president, and that's why we went ahead with it.
If you regain the majority in 2022 for the Republicans, and there's a very good
Correct. Hugh Hewitt is one of the most evil fucks. By the way, got a show on MSNBC. MSNBC hired this man. When's the last time they hired a Bernie person? Can you imagine Brianna Joy Gray getting a show on MSNBC? This motherfucker got a show on MSNBC. They're so incompetent. They don't even know they can't even get ratings. They can't even get hashtag resistance libs. They hired Hugh Hewitt. I'm sorry. Kentucky elected McConnell, not the entire U.S. Why has he made all the decisions of what 3 separate presidents are and are not allowed to do? Because he is majority leader of the Senate. And right now, the majority leader of the Senate gives him the power because the majority leader of the Senate's party, the Democratic Party, is a fraudulent party. And they do not believe on the policies they campaigned on because they don't care about their base and they don't care about what the voters want. They are emboldened to do what the donors say. And Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden don't want to do what they ran on. So they're giving Mitch McConnell the power, but it's illusory. The real power is the donors. If you voted for Joe Biden in the primary, you are fucking scum. McConnell is so confident of Dem incompetence and cowardice that he's openly boasting about his plan to steal Breyer's seat. Can't really blame him for this either. Hard to imagine Dems giving him a more clear lesson that they will mutely tolerate just about anything. Occurs to me that the chorus of "it's a conspiracy, Dems want to lose more of the Supreme Court seats, etc." have recreated Beltway journalist mindset, trying to have the most savvy opinion rather than push some moral view. I have a moral view. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm saying. I know you guys agree with me. I'm not saying give up. Why would Democrats actively desire a 7-2 conservative court? Because the deciding votes are stupid cowards. Dude. Am I misspelling her name? I don't know why it's underlined. Manchin is in there, but not Cinema. Okay. There were 27 candidates in the primary and 5 to 10 in the general, depending on your state. Yeah, well. It's not cowardice, it's calculation. Exactly. Holy fuck, man. Holy fuck, man. I'm sorry for mauling over this so much lately, chat. But I don't know what else to do. Friendly reminder that slavery is very much alive in the United States of America. We even have this guy on a horse. They're literally cosplaying. Vox went mask off the other day. Yes, let's end capitalism by refusing to participate on an individual basis. Yeah, that's going to work. The CEO of Vox investor General Atlantic is on the board of BlackRock. Whoops. The delusions of the radical centrist. So, chat, who are we talking about here? Who's your favorite radical centrist?
In 2022, and that's why they aren't doing anything now.
Scuttlebutt. The Supreme Court is lost for a generation. Unless radicals like me become the fucking leader of the Democratic Party in the next 5 years, the Supreme Court is lost for a generation. Thanks to various defects of our system of government, there are only 2 viable political parties in the United States. The leadership of one of them is currently trying to take money away from capitalists and invest it in public infrastructure, domestic manufacturing, at-home care for the elderly, and a monthly child allowance for all non-rich families. This party has advanced legislation that would make it easier for working people to vote in elections and organize their workplaces. The other party opposes all of this. In the wake of an economic crisis that brutalized America's underclass while swelling the outsized fortunes of its upper crust, it demands relief for the long-suffering heirs of $12 million estates and austerity for the long-term unemployed. It deems our nation's historically low tax rates sacrosanct, and thus, any major expansion of social welfare untenable. Its opposition to organized labor and popular democracy is unabashed. And in states across the country, the party is making it harder to cast a ballot and easier for partisan officials to invalidate unfavorable election results. And yet, some American intellectuals who style themselves champions of greater economic equality and political democracy insist that workers have no interest in which of these 2 parties hold powers. The viewpoint is also upheld by at least one radical centrist, a man who dreams of a cross-class coalition for expanding the welfare state, collective bargaining, and public investment in manufacturing, and has, nonetheless, spent the last few years arguing that the working class has no interest in seeing Democrats defeat Republicans and that the Democratic establishment poses a greater threat to democracy than Donald Trump. The U.S. is undergoing a partisan realignment that will render the old spectrum of left-right obsolete. In 2016, Lind argued that Bernie Sanders' surprisingly strong primary campaign did not represent a repudiation of the center-left synthesis shared by Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Hillary Clinton. Rather, as the Democrats grew more reliant on college-educated voters, the party would grow more solidly committed to neoliberal economic policy. The increasingly proletarian GOP, meanwhile, was poised to move left on entitlements as the populism of voters prevailed over the libertarianism of its donors. By the way, this is the stuff that's being spread by the likes of Crystal Ball. I used to like Crystal quite a bit. But this ain't happening, man. What's happening is the Republican Party is hardening into an outright oligarchic party a la out of Hungary or Russia. I hate to say it, but I hate to use the word Russia because it triggers liberals' Russia instinct. What I'm talking about is the political situation in Russia is a far-right, authoritarian, anti-democratic, oligarchic government under Vladimir Putin. That's what it is. In fact, in reality, Vladimir Putin is probably the real richest man in the world.
I once was labeled a lawyer too, and it caused me problems.
Moose Soup, thanks for the tier 1 for 8 months. And they have no problem with capitalism. We do politics here every morning starting at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific. You can watch us here on Twitch. We're the morning guy. The morning politics guy. Politics Frogs in every single day. Same time, 10 a.m. Day in, day out. And we carry you through your morning and early afternoon politics needs. And if you need more, Mike from PA, we have a YouTube channel. We talked about Suburbs, the My Pillow guy, Ted Cruz. We talked about DSA. Amazing. Making fun of Tim Pool. Amazing. Look at all of these amazing videos. Get in there, watch them. We have me on Twitter. You got to follow me on Twitter, chat. I'm at 20,614 subs. That means I got like 40 followers on Twitter in the last day. You can do better than that. You can do better than that. Go follow us on Twitter. And of course, join the Discord, where we have an incredible community of left-wing streamers We have left-wing community. We talk about the stream. We talk about politics. There's gaming content. It's a really awesome, supportive place. Direct action, mutual aid, and you can just let off some steam. And also, you can help produce the show. One of the things I do is I look at the links that are put into the news content suggestions chat room on the Discord. Join the Discord, come hang out, and maybe what you want me to talk about will be part of the next show.